Who do you think is better, Michael Jordan or yourself?
I will never say I'm better than Michael because, in all honesty, he's taught me so many things by observation and also through conversation. I would never say that just because I learned so much from him. It's just it's a non-conversation for me.
Savage Sports fan, please like, share, subscribe. We're a new channel, trying to get it up and going. New subscribers, thanks for the love and support. Drop a comment, hit the bell notification for all new videos, share a video. Listen, let's get right to the show. Listen, Chicago Bears, what did I tell you? Here we go. The season is winding down. I believe it's the last 4 weeks of the season. We in the last, half, the last quarter of the season. And we got breaking news. It's been leaked that the Atlanta Falcons are looking to make a strong push at Justin Fields. Justin Fields from Atlanta, outside of Atlanta, by the way. And it would be great to have Justin Fields in Atlanta. They are looking to make a strong push in getting him out of Chicago. Now, I don't know who the coach is going to be in Atlanta. I don't know who the offensive coordinator is going to be in Atlanta. I don't know what the draft picks are going to be in Atlanta. But I can see Justin Fields doing very well playing in that dome and just running and gunning and just doing his thing out there. He can be Michael Vick 2.0, and that's what the Atlanta Falcons see. They see the vision of Justin. The Chicago Bears don't. I don't know. But it's more news. The Pittsburgh Steelers are rumored to make another pitch and force Chicago hand as far as trying to get Justin in Pittsburgh. Now listen, I can see Justin running in Pittsburgh also. I can see him doing his thing in Pittsburgh. A lot of these teams are looking back at Chicago and saying, Chicago, what are you doing? You can't get this right. You got a franchise quarterback. You just got to give him some pieces. Give him a little bit more time. Give him a solid offensive coordinator. Build around him. Do something different. So Atlanta sees it. That doesn't mean Atlanta's going to have success. But I can see the vision. He's a hometown kid. He can do his thing in Atlanta. I can see what Mike Tomlin is thinking also. Pittsburgh. They had Cordell Stewart many years. Cordell got a big arm. Cordell used to scramble. Bill Cowher was the coach. Pittsburgh, he can do his thing. And there's going to be a few other teams that's going to be sleepers out there seeing if they can steal this guy from the Bears. If you're the Chicago Bears, what do you do? What would you offer? What would you be asking? What is the asking price? What are you getting in the consolation? My position. I think the Bears have blown this. I think for whatever reason, they can't get it right. I think, another year for Justin, a new quarterback, a new offensive coordinator, blah, 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 blah. We are going to play, the Chicago Bears are playing the Detroit Lions tomorrow. Detroit played well. We should have won that game against Detroit a few weeks ago. We were winning that game. We lost it at the end. But at the end of the day, teams want Justin Fields, and the Chicago Bears, as of right now, have to be sitting back, evaluating these last 4 games like, can he play himself in the contract? Can he play himself outside of a contract? Can he get himself on the trade block? Everybody in Chicago, look at these next few games. Is this the quarterback of the future? I say yes. I'm pro Justin Fields. I think he's done enough. He don't need to do more. But I just think for whatever reason, we haven't gotten him the right coach. We haven't gotten him the right offensive coordinator. And him going through another situation in Chicago, I don't know. Maybe this might be our time to just say, everybody have a clean slate. I don't like the backup like that. The backup shown he's a backup and he's not Justin Fields. We already know who we're talking about. So who do you bring in? You're going to bring in Caleb Williams, and he's going to be in the same situation. But the only difference is he's just starting in the NFL. It'll be his first head coach. He has to adjust to the NFL speed. Does he come in and throw a ton of interceptions? We don't know. So I'm a firm believer in the devil that you do know versus the devil that you don't. Not saying that this guy's a devil. I'm just saying. So I know what we get out of Justin. I know what he can be. Him going to Atlanta, I could see him being Michael Vick 2.0 better. And they would have an advantage because they've seen everything they've seen everything the Chicago Bears has done wrong. All these other teams, like the Bears messed up on this, they didn't do that. So, not saying they'll have the right coordinator. I just think that they have the advantage to see how we screwed up. And they'll say, we can't do this with Justin. We can't do that with Justin. And they may have success much earlier because now he's got one more year of the offseason, one more year to look at more film, one more year to work with his coaches on the offseason. So I think Justin is trending up. Now, the next 4 games, 5 games, whatever, we'll see about that. But I think whatever happens, unless it's a crazy injury, he's got another offseason to get better. We know who he is. We know what we have. Unless we're getting something that jumps off and walks through the door and is going to be a Pro Bowler like Dan Marino the first year, I just don't think we give up on Justin. You know what I mean? I just don't think we do that. I think we can try to ride this thing out. However, if people offer us everything under the sun, and, I don't know. But at the end of the day, these are some pretty good problems the Chicago Bears have. These are some pretty good problems to have. You don't like, of course you don't like the record that we have. Of course we want to play for the playoffs. But I think we can actually set ourselves up for the next 10 years and be a dominant team if we make the right moves. Ryan Pohl, he's been kind of doing his thing. I got to give it to him. But, we're not in the playoffs. We're not in the playoffs. We already noticed we're talking about a new stadium for the Chicago Bears. We see that. But at the end of the day, if we make the right moves, we can set ourselves up for the next 10 years. So what about the Pittsburgh Steelers? Mike Tomlin's on a hot seat. Yes, he is. He has our old quarterback, Trubisky, over there. He hasn't done very well there. I thought he would have did very well there. Where did Trubisky go wrong with Pittsburgh? Maybe the same thing he did wrong in Buffalo. Maybe the same thing he did in Chicago. He's just maybe, in my opinion, a good backup. So what difference would Justin Fields have in Pittsburgh? Well, they'll run the ball more. I think they'll have a better offensive line. I think his throws will not be every down. He'll have more scripted throws. I think they'll micromanage him better. I think they'll utilize his legs. I think they'll play. Pittsburgh has always been conservative, and outside of Big Ben being there. So I don't know. Maybe they change the page on that type of style of football and open it up for him. But I actually kind of like Justin Fields in Chicago. If not Chicago, I could see him doing very, very well in Atlanta. Very well in Atlanta. So that's kind of crazy to say. But the breaking news is the Atlanta Falcons' #1 priority is trying to get Justin Fields out of Chicago. They want to bring that run and gun back to the South. Him playing in New Orleans on the road, him going to Tampa, the NFL South, all of that good stuff. Atlanta, Sunday Night Football with that loud dome, with all the rappers on the sideline. I see what they're doing. Justin running and gunning, reminding everybody about Michael Vick. I see where they're going, and I see Pittsburgh. But at the end of the day, he's got a Chicago Bears uniform on. He got a Chicago Bears. I'm pretty sure a lot of these teams envision Tom Brady playing for them, but we have them. We got to do the right thing. I just said, I know I'm contradicting myself. I can see him going for a good deal if we got a deal that we can't refuse. But if we don't get a deal we can't refuse, he's a Chicago Bear. We know who he is. We got to get better. We got to get better coaches, better coordinators, a better situation. We know what we got. And drop a comment. Are you for or against us, Justin Fields? Do you think he's earned his extension, or should we just cut our losses? It's a sucker born every moment. It's a sucker GM out there. It's always a sucker GM. You know what I mean? Let's just look at what happened with the Golden State versus Washington situation in the NBA. Jordan Poole played on Golden State. They offered everything for Golden State for Chris Paul. Chris Paul goes to Golden State from Washington, traded from Phoenix. And they wanted Jordan Poole so bad. He was up and promising, and they got suckered. Jordan Poole has been nothing but hot garbage. And you know what? That front office in Washington is all GM. They got a new GM. They got a new front office. Everybody's like under 30. I mean, you're going to make your mistakes. They're very young. I believe last time I heard they were under 30. A lot of arrogance, a lot of ego. And look at the Washington Wizards. They stinking up the place. And a lot of people say they got suckered. They got a sucker GM, thought he knew everything, and look at that team. So it might be a sucker GM, young GM out there in the NFL that might give us everything but the kitchen sink for this guy. And unless we get a deal like that, if we get a deal like that, where we get a good sucker to take Justin and we get a boatload of picks, draft picks, and some players, it'll be hard for us to refuse that. But if we don't get that type of deal, ladies and gentlemen, Justin Fields, we need to keep him in Chicago. Drop a comment. This is Savage Sports Fan. Like, share, subscribe. We got the Detroit Lions. They got a few of our ex-players. They got our running back. He's having a good season. We need to get this W tomorrow. Let me tell you, I don't care if we win the next 4 games. This head coaching staff, finito. They got to go. Don't tell me they turned a corner. It's a slow burn. No. We were 1-15. I think we've seen enough from this coaching staff. Sorry if we get a blowout the next 4 games. Sorry, I just think this is not it for me. I mean, unless they can come in at the end of the year on their exit meetings and say, I'm hiring this coordinator. Should we bring in Josh McDaniels, who got fired from the Raiders, who's a great coordinator? At the end of the day, Josh McDaniels, who was Tom Brady's coordinator in New England forever, he's a great coordinator. He's never been a good head coach. He was never one in Denver. I think he was in Cleveland. They tried to hire him, and boom, he's never been a good head coach. But a good coordinator, is that a name the Chicago Bears should go after as far as bringing in a coordinator? Who would be a good coordinator for Justin? You know, Byron Leftwich is still out there. He was a coordinator in Tampa for Tom Brady. One can argue Tom Brady got him fired that last year. Byron's out there. Do you think we bring Byron Leftwich, who's rumored to be going to Colorado with Coach Prime? Byron he's a Super Bowl champion coordinator. Could you bring him in to have him help Justin? He was a quarterback. So at Pittsburgh, by the way, the team that wants Justin. So who would be great? Drop a comment. I say Byron. I say Josh McDaniels. I think it's some names out there, some unsung people. Maybe we bring somebody from college, somebody more creative, somebody not as rigid. Who do you think? Drop a comment. At the end of the day, Savage Sports Fan, thanks to all the new subscribers for the love and support. Drop a comment, share a video. I hope everybody's holidays is going pretty well. Christmas is right around the corner. The NBA is here. I think they're going to try to find a way to get a sting to LeBron. They want LeBron to be MVP tonight in Vegas. You already know what it is. Drop a comment. I'm out.